And our very best to NASC, whoever NASC is.
National Association. I'll get the other ones for you later.
We're back at Foxborough. Steve Grogan, who had a whale of a first half for the New England Patriots. He has fired up this football team on the spot with the trade of Jim Plunkett to San Francisco. He has come through like an all-pro, and he may be headed in that direction. That's what he's done tonight, 5 of 10, but it does not say all of what he's done. He's ran the ball well. Meanwhile, his counterpart, Joe Namath, having his problems, not so much his problems, the fact that a defense that had played well for the past 3 weeks has been performing poorly here tonight. And you never know whether the defense is playing badly or whether or not the offense is just that good. And I have a feeling that it could have a little bit of both. That's what you call hedging.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Right there, the statistics bespeak the importance of this particular contest, at least from the point of view of New England. They must win it to stay just a game behind Baltimore in the Eastern Division of the AFC. They honestly believe they can beat Baltimore in the return contest. Why not? After you've beaten the likes of Oakland, Pittsburgh, and Miami. Miami is a better team than its 2-4 record suggests. Buffalo is floundering and now has a new coach, and Jim Ringo, one of the old Packers who Frank used to play against. And the Jets' record speaks for itself. Jets have a long period of rebuilding ahead of them. But the Patriots team has been rebuilt. As they've demonstrated in the first half, they are young. They're enthusiastic, they're exciting, and Steve Grogan is one of the most exciting young quarterbacks we have seen in a long, long time. Built like Greg Landry, but apparently with much more ability. Although I must say in his early years, Greg used to run much like Grogan does now.
And we'll have another one in a couple of weeks coming up. Of course, it'll be St. Louis and Washington in the Eastern Division of the NFC next week. Then in 2 weeks, we'll be looking at Burt Jones. And deep for New England is Jess Phillips, number 35. Pat Leahy will kick off for New York.
I'm sure they've talked to that Jet defense, and they're going to come out roaring in the second half. They have to. They have to stop Grogan.
Leahy. And is Phillips the 2-yard line. And Phillips is met hard at the 25. It was Mike Hennigan getting down there quickly. And let's meet the New England offense. Let them introduce themselves.
Steve Grogan, quarterback, Ottawa, Kansas.
Andy Johnson, running back, Athens, Georgia.
Sam Cunningham, running back, Santa Barbara, California.
Marlon Briscoe, wide receiver, Omaha, Nebraska.
Darryl Stingley, wide receiver, Chicago, Illinois.
Russ Francis, tight end, Kailua, Oahu.
There they are. They take over 1st and 10, their own 26-yard line. The motion man, Stingley. The toss goes to Cunningham. Left side, flag down as Cunningham collects 4 yards. But again, a flag down at the line of scrimmage.
Interesting point of observation, gentlemen. New England rode to that 20 points in the first half without any apparent use of the great tight end, Russ Francis. Earlier in the season, Frank, you'll remember I said I thought, well, let's watch the face-off of the penalty and hear the announcer.
Our referee tonight, Chuck Heberling, doing a fine job. There's the walk-off. It's one of your biggies.
And holding, offense, number 70.
The call, Leon Gray, the left tackle for the New England Patriots. Offensive line, Bill Enkaitis is at center, 67. The guards, and they're good ones. Number 73, John Hanna. Number 61, Sam Adams. Gray at left tackle. McKay at right tackle, 66. Randy Vataha alternates with wide receivers. He's number 18. He brings in the play. It's 2nd down and 20. Or rather, 1st down and 20. And the end around, Russ Francis.
There he goes.
And Francis corralled out there at the 24-yard line. And let's let the defensive unit of the Jets introduce themselves.
Lawrence Phillips, defensive end, Hazen University, Mississippi.
Larry Falk, defensive tackle, Cincinnati, Ohio.
Ed Gallagher, defensive lineman, Hayward, California.
Richard Neal, defensive end, New Orleans, Louisiana.
And there they are. It's 2nd down and 12 for New England. They have a 20-0 lead. Most of it coming through the efforts of this man, young Steve Grogan out of Kansas State. Grogan takes a shot on a blitz and still gets it off to Randy Vataha, close to the first down, and Grogan changing that play at the line of scrimmage. And let's meet some of these linebackers of the New York Jets. They're young. Here they are.
Greg Buttle, linebacker, Penn State University, Linwood, New Jersey.
John Eversole, linebacker, Altoona, Pennsylvania.
Bob Martin, linebacker, David City, Nebraska.
Vataha gets the first down. Ball at the 37-yard line, just underway here in the second half. New England with the ball. The motion man is Johnson. The big man gets the call, tries to break to the outside, does. And look at Cunningham as he goes up to the 44, a gain of 7. It'll be 2nd and 3.
The other thing I like about Grogan so much, Alex, is that he's absolutely unafraid. We saw a demonstration of that when the blitzing linebacker was in there on him. Never changed, didn't push his throw, got it off to Vataha. He took the blow, and he took it his way. He is a rising young professional, courtesy of Frank Sinatra. Forgive me.
Alex, your sign is falling. 2nd down and 3. Johnson, the motion man. Grogan, Johnson wide open again as he was in the first half. Up in front of the cornerback, Schaefer Suggs.
He really puts his head down, barrels in with his shoulder. He's a beautiful running back, Andy Johnson. Frank, you mentioned Bill Lenkaitis as the center in that Patriots team. I think he's one of the most interesting men in the league. He apparently retired a year ago, but decided to come back while they develop young Pete Brock, the big one from Colorado. He is a practicing dentist, Frank. Practices dentistry 4 days a week.
And we have a first down and almost picked off. Going for it was number 38, Ed Taylor. Let's meet the defensive backs of the New York Jets.
Schaefer Suggs, defensive back, Elkhart, Indiana.
Ed Taylor, cornerback, Memphis, Tennessee.
Philip Wise, safety, Omaha, Nebraska. Burgess Owens, free safety, Tallahassee, Florida.
I kind of miss Steve Tannen back there. Of course, he was always openly admitting that he was a team player and that he wouldn't make a tackle unless the whole team made a tackle with him.
Alex, we just had one of those major mentalities pour onto the field. He's being duly escorted off by the police.
I thought he was a free agent. Being assisted off, sometimes you wonder about the mentality. Indeed you do. 2nd down and 10. Grogan looks one way, rolls the other, has Hanna in front of him. Hanna with a good block. Look at Grogan. Touchdown. Boy, and when we go back and look at it, watch the block of number 73, John Hanna. This is a set play.
What a football player that young man is. If he's not in the lead for Player of the Year in the league up to this point in the season, I don't know who is. Let's look at it again and watch for the block that Frank told you about. There's 73, John Hanna, presently out of your picture, but back in it now. Look at that. That enabled Grogan to cut back, and he just poured through that little slit of a hole there and on in for the touchdown.
Of course, I was talking about commitment to the linebackers, and Bob Martin that time just coasted, laid back at the line of scrimmage and didn't go either up or didn't go back, and of course that's what happened. Got knocked down.
And Burgess Owens being assisted off the field. Shake it up. Probably the best man defensively for the Jets, playing at free safety. Tried to get in the play. Shaken up. He's limping off. That run, 41 yards. That means that Grogan on the night has gone for 95 yards. John Smith for the conversion. Drills it. This time it's not blocked. 27-0. The New England Patriots over the New York Jets. And let's look at it again, because this is the new breed of quarterbacks in the National Football League. They can throw the ball. They run a ball club with authority, and they can do this. They're mobile. They can run. Now, this was a set play. Grogan with the quick look to the right, throws the defense. Hanna got in front of it, number 73. Number 70 is Leon Gray. Grogan, as he was at Kansas State, a fine runner, cuts back, 41 yards, touchdown.
I just add, Frank, that I suggested at the very top of the telecast as action began and the Patriots moved in for their first score, it is possible that 73 Hanna and 70 Gray are as good an offensive line tandem as we currently have in the league. And when I talk about Grogan, I say up to this point, recognizing the brilliance of his performance, I also recognize the brilliance of number 7, Burt Jones of the Colts, whom we'll be seeing in 2 weeks against Houston.
John Smith will kick off for New England. Jackson and Picone are deep. Picone at the 15-yard line. And Picone out over the 35 to the 36-yard line. And let's meet the Jets offense. Here they are.
Hi, I'm Joe Namath. I play quarterback. I'm from Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, but I spent a lot of time in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Louis Giamona, running back, Calistoga, California. Ed Marinaro, running back, New Milford, New Jersey. David Knight, wide receiver from Williamsburg, Virginia, home of the 3rd presidential debate. Richard Osborne, tight end, San Antonio, Texas.
And, of course, Richard Castor is playing at wide receiver tonight rather than that tight end position. Back to the action with 13:56 remaining in the 3rd quarter. It's been all New England. They lead 27-0. Damon dumps it off. It goes to Gresham, and he's picked up immediately. Number 50, Sam Hunt, out of Stephen F. Austin. A 15th-round draft pick, if you will. 1974, became a starter immediately.
The Patriots show no signs of letting up. They're determined to make amends for a lot of setbacks at the hands of the Jets in past years. Next week, a big one. Eastern Division NFC, RFK Stadium, Washington. The Redskins against the Cardinals, who upended Dallas yesterday.
2nd down and 13. The ball inside the 35-yard line of the Jets. Quick handoff inside. And Gresham again, pounding out short of the 1st down to just about the 47-yard line. Let's meet the front 3, the defensive unit of New England. Here they are.
Tony McGee, defensive end, Battle Creek, Michigan.
Ray Hamilton, nose guard, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Julius Autumn, defensive end, Macon, Georgia.
And they have each and every one of them introduced themselves to Joe Namath tonight, personally. 3rd down, short yardage, less than a yard. Steve Davis, 35, is in the lineup now. It's set back for the Jets, gets the call. And boy, he will not get the 1st down.
Yeah.
He's met by Sam Hunt, who just nailed him.
And did you see the movement in that line?
Oh, yeah.
Clearly it had Namath thinking, Alex.
Oh, yeah, and the linebackers are coming. They're not waiting. They're not taking the blows. They're giving the blows tonight. And that's the difference right there. That's the difference in the defense. Jets waiting, taking the blow, and the Pats just coming right on. They are the pitchers, not the catchers, Howard.
They're going to measure this. I do believe he's short.
He's 2.5 inches short, Frank.
He was really drilled by Sam Hunt.
2.5 inches, you said, Alex?
That's my 27, 57 vision.
You've got a new problem.
The Jets will not punt, trailing 27-0 early in the 3rd quarter on 4th down. They better change the play. Davis, right side, big hole, breaks the tackle inside of Patriot territory at the 47. 1st down, New York.
Well, give Lou Holtz credit for that.
Steve Davis has had one major problem this year. He's had a hard time holding on to the ball. He's fumbled 5 times. 3 times against Miami, twice last week against Buffalo. And when that starts to happen to a back, you'll see him start to really put the clutch on it. They have more of your lame heads on the field. That's the delay at the moment. Give Steve Zabel a chance to zip over to the bench and have a word with head coach Lou Holtz. Underway again, 1st and 10. Ball at the 47-yard line of New England. Namath, play action. Complete out there to Davis, and he holds on and takes Davis bounce, and he comes down with it close to a first down.
When he was with the Steelers, Frank, as a rookie, I thought he was going to become one of the stick-out ball carriers in the league. Has tremendous strength.
Great speed.
Leaving aside the question of fumbling as we look at it again, he is a moody fellow, and he twice apparently quit football. Once with the Steelers and once with the Jets. And those things you just can't predict, and you just therefore can't really count on a ball player.
He gets the first down for New York.
You know, this is disgraceful.
Ball at the 37-yard line.
There are more of what Frank called lameheads, which is too kind a word, on the field. Enough's enough. We won't even show them on camera. That's possibly what they're looking for. But they're enough to make you wonder about the sports syndrome.
Well, let's don't blame it on sports.
No, I'm talking about the syndrome related thereto.
Let's blame
it's a philosophical
matter. Makes you
matter.
wonder about the syndrome, huh? Richard Osborne has split out now as a wide receiver. He's been playing tight end. On first down. Flag goes. Namath pumps as he once again attracted the attention of a blitzing linebacker, Steve Zabel. Couple of flags down. One illegal procedure preliminary indication. .11:09 remaining here in the third quarter. It's been all New England. And pretty much an all Steve Grogan show. Let's listen to the call.
Illegal motion, offense, number 88. Refused.
Call goes against Rich Castor. Part of the huge crowd that has turned up here. This is two Jet receivers, and again, Gresham hasn't played that much, and Castor's playing a new position, but obviously they're in the wrong areas. Second down and 10. Clark Gaines, 21, is in the lineup. He gets the call. And Gaines gets about 5 yards. It'll be third down and 5. Let's meet the linebackers for New England. Here they are.
Steve Zabel, linebacker, Denver, Colorado.
Steve Nelson, linebacker, Anoka, Minnesota.
Sam Big Backer Hunt, weak inside linebacker, White Oak, Longview, Texas.
Steve King, outside linebacker, Quinton, Oklahoma.
Well, Sam doesn't like the BAM anymore.
Yeah. Sam Hunt.
It'll be third down and 4. Gaines collected 6 on his run. Namath firing, and it's almost picked off. It was Tim Fox who got an interception earlier, moving across from free safety, stepping in front of Richard Castor.
Well, we're watching a sad thing. We're watching Namath really, I think, at the end of his career, and really his legs have given out on him, and he's been throwing the ball all night, really, strictly with his arms. He doesn't have that great leverage in the base anymore, and he's just winging the ball, and consequently the ball is starting to duck-like into the other areas of the football field, and it's a sad thing to say, but I think this is the end of Namath's career.
It's fourth down. The Jets are going to go again on fourth down. Fourth down, call it a long 3. The ball at the 30-yard line of New England. And he unloads it, and it goes to Gaines. Gaines has the first down inside the 25, and Namath got popped again.
He really did. I don't know how he keeps getting up. He's limping now in the left leg. You see it? Courage is the word for that man.
He was really riffled out in San Francisco. He was sacked out there 5 times. That was not unexpected because we saw San Francisco do a job on L.A. last week.
10 times against James Harris, who's now out of action. In the highlights, you saw Pat Hayden taking over for him, leading the Rams to that 2012 victory over the Bears. By the way, they got a cornerback named Monty Jackson, second-year man from San Diego State, who had 3 interceptions yesterday, Frank. 6 on the year. He's already tied the team record for interceptions.
We have 9:54 remaining here in the third quarter. Game being held up again by some interesting folks up here in New England. Johnson got on the scoreboard for New England first, going in from 3 yards out. Grogan then recovered a Calhoun fumble, went in from 6 yards out to make it 14-0. Johnson had a 10-yard touchdown pass from Grogan, make it 20-0. Grogan went in on a 41-yard run to make it 27-zip. That's been the scoring. The game has been all New England. On first down, Namath up in the air again. And this time back there defending another rookie, Mike Haynes, against Rich Castor.
Oh, can that Mike Haynes run, by the way. We haven't had the opportunity to see him bust one tonight on a kick run, but he did that. He showed his wares early in the preseason.
NCAA college football coming up this Saturday, Missouri and Nebraska. They don't necessarily like each other. Missouri, 4-2 record. Nebraska, undefeated, 5-0-1 thus far. Missouri, you might recall, the people who pulled off the upset against Ohio State, against USC. This Saturday, NCAA college football. Second down and 10. Namath throws it up on the blitz, and a flag is down. Intended for Dave Knight, but the Patriots are trying to confuse a line that is already confused by position, because the Jets have been forced to move their guards to tackles. They're one tackle to center, and this is the result of it.
Well, they're shooting defensive backs and linebackers and everybody now, and I think that's what they should have done to Grogan. They should have made him commit himself, either throw the ball fast or run the ball, and they didn't do that. They laid back, and you can't do that against a quarterback that can run and pass.
I think you're exactly right.
And he's telling the rest of the guys, he said, they should have done that to me.
In the last play, you saw Prentice McRae, number 34, blitzing.
The Lions went after Grogan the last game, and they were very successful.
Second down and 5. The ball inside the 20 at the 19. Offside penalty against New England. Namath has a man open. And going for Steve Davis, and hustling back there was Tim Fox. And I like these two rookies. Mike Haynes out of Arizona State, a first-round draft pick. Tim Fox, a rookie out of Ohio State, another first-round draft pick.
Well, you've emphasized Tim Fox's difficulties earlier on, Frank. This kid playing with a hip pointer. This a kid playing with sprained knee ligaments. This a kid playing with a broken bone in his hand and a cast on his hand. And still he's out there, and he's giving nothing away. So courage is the word, too, for Tim Fox.
Third down. Namath flips it out. Richard Osborne has the ball. He's close to the first down. I believe he has it. The rookie from Texas A&M, a 9th-round draft pick by Philadelphia that came to the Jets about 10 days ago. First down, and the Jets have been forced to use fourth down plays twice to keep this drive moving.
But it's the first sustained drive they've really had in this football game.
And, of course, this is the toughest time to pass. When the defense knows you're going to throw the ball, they're more apt to play a real passing defense.
First and 10, the ball at the 12-yard line. Namath flooding his backs, and he finds Gaines, and Gaines finds the end zone. Clark Gaines scores on a Namath touchdown pass, and one thing you got to admire Namath for is he hits the rookie from Wake Forest for the 6 points. He's been hit all night long, and he still puts his backs in the pattern. He could keep him in there to protect him, but he has not done that tonight.
That's an excellent point. It's absolutely true, and again, a manifestation, as you said, of this guy's courage.
I don't think anyone's ever questioned it. I like to watch him play. He's thrilled us on Monday nights. The Jets have never won on Monday night, but he has given us some great thrills.
Remember that game against Oakland that wound up the season?
Pat Leahy makes it 7 for the Jets. They trail the New England Patriots 27-7, and we'll be returning to Foxborough in just a moment.
I hate taking my car in for service. How do I know I won't get taken?
You know you won't get taken with Goodyear hassle-free service. If you're not happy, we're not happy. With all service work, we give you the Goodyear promise. We do professional work. We only do the work you authorize. We return all worn parts. No problems, no fooling, no hassle.
Gee, I'm glad it wasn't my muffler.
Goodyear tires and Goodyear service for more good years in your car.
United Airlines makes me feel like the boss. They know I'm a busy woman. So now they've given me more carry-on space than any other airline, which I prefer to think of as carry-off space. I grab my case and hat from above, completely unsquashed. I get my clothes, free of wrinkles, from the closet. I whisk my suitcase from United's brand new luggage racks, and the boss is on her way.
Fly the friendly skies of United.
Where you are the boss.
Saturday, ABC's Wide World of Sports features a unique look at Evel Knievel, Daredevil, and Father, and the National 500 Stock Car Race in a special two-part format from 2 to 3 Eastern Time and from 6:30 to 7. West Coast viewers will see Wide World from 5 to 6:30 on ABC.
Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell and Alex Karras. We've been watching a very strong New England team. New York just getting on the scoreboard. Joe Namath with a touchdown pass to Clark Gaines. Leahy hits it for the Jets. Jess Phillips. And Phillips breaks one tackle and gets out over the 30-yard line to the 32.
I love to watch him run, Howard.
Yeah, I don't understand why he's traveled so much. Let's look at that touchdown pass again by Joe. The play action there, the 35, and then hitting the rookie from Wake Forest, Clark Gaines, who pulls his way in for the touchdown. So that made our score 27-7. Looking at it again, another angle. Nicely thrown there, Alex.
He can still pick you apart as long as he can throw the short one, but he can't throw that long with any consistency anymore.
On first down, Cunningham gets a call and moves out over the 35 to the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4, hit there by John Ebersole, number 55. There's Dell on the sidelines. Had a troubled year. He's been banged around pretty good. And as he also said in that interview this morning on Sal Marciano on Good Morning America, he said, I feel I'm playing pretty well. The problem has been elsewhere. 2nd down and 4. Play action by Grogan. Here comes the bomb. It's going to Vataha. Oh! The man could not quite stretch far enough. He got inside Tommy Marvezo, but could not quite stretch. He's not all that big anyway. He's about 5'10". Feisty little that comes up.
Watch this. That's Ed Taylor, 38 Giff, and Alex. Ed Taylor loses him. Marvezo, a recent acquisition, is there. He's scissored between them, and he's loose. But no, just over the hands.
3rd down now and 4. Stingley goes out to the right. Marlon Briscoe, who brought the play in, alternating with Vataha, out to the left. Grogan, all the time in the world, dumps it off to Cunningham. The big man has the first down, moving out over the 45-yard line to the 47-yard line. Cunningham is having quite a night.
Don't forget, folks, next week we're in RFK Stadium, Washington, D.C. for a really big one. Remember that? Washington against St. Louis. And the week after, we're in Baltimore for Billy White Shoes Johnson. The Houston Oilers against those spectacular young Colts of Baltimore, and a close look at Bert Jones.
Handoff, Johnson right side on first down over midfield, moving down to the 47-yard line. Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6, hit there by Phil Wise for the Jets.
Howard, I was talking about Steve Tannen, the defensive back that used to play with the Jets, and of course he's a friend of mine, lives on the coast now, is becoming an actor. And he was at one of my...
He always was.
Yes, one of my parties, and I introduced him to a person who didn't know Steve Tannen from anyone. He said, you don't know me? And he said, you'll know me maybe from this position, and he fell flat on the floor.
He was a first-round draft choice from Florida.
They've marked it at the 48, call it 2nd down and 6. Johnson in motion. Grogan dumps it off to Cunningham as a flag goes down. Cunningham down very close to a first down, but that flag goes down in that area where usually we get the holding call.
We have 6:33 left in the third quarter. It's 27-7, the New England Patriots. They've been a most impressive team tonight, regardless of the quality of defense.
He's just happy he's there. He doesn't care if he's winning or losing.
That's a good time.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Penalty being marked off against New England. Let's find out who's responsible.
I guess he smiles.
Offense, number 70.
Leon Gray.
I guess he smiles more as the score grows higher, Biff.
Smile a while, that's your style.
I think they better keep the sense of humor. It's a long season. And they have an interesting coach. He seems to have kept his sense of humor. I don't know how funny it's going to be in December. It's 2nd down and 16. Grogan again the play action. And he gets riffled as he attempts to go to Stingley. Grogan was really hit in a very awkward position, but he bops right back up. It was Lawrence Pillars that stormed in on Grogan.
Well, New England has scored touchdowns on 4 of 6 possessions. They have engineered drives of 58, 64, 57, and 73 yards, respectively. 6:27 left to go in the third quarter, and I suspect they want more.
3rd down, 16. Jets only rushing 2 men. And Bataha makes a very patented Randy Bataha catch right on the sidelines, almost impossible to defend against, and gets the first down. He's down to the 38-yard line, inside the 38. Let's look at it again. You have to respect this little man because he'll go deep on you. And he took Schaefer Suggs, took him back until he started to drive, and then he turned to the outside. Recovering from a triple fracture of the cheekbone.
To think they didn't want him when he first came up. I don't mean the Patriots. They wound up with him.
Rams initially drafted him in the 16th round. He was one of their last cuts. They joined Jim Plunkett here, Randy Bataha. First down. Grogan once more. There's the big man, Russ Francis, his first reception of the night.
I've been waiting all night for them to put him on display. This is a truly super athlete. Earlier in the year, I said he could be all world, and I mean it. He didn't play football in his senior year at college. He is a great all-around athlete, a marvelous javelin thrower. Let's take another look at this. On his way to possibly represent the United States in the Olympics as a javelin thrower, he injured his arm.
And I'm pretty sure that he's related to Joe Francis, one of the great Oregon State ball players that I played against in the Rose Bowl game. I don't know.
He grew up in Hawaii.
Yes, Joe did too.
On first down. And Sam Cunningham storms into the end zone.
Oh, wow. I said they wanted more. They got it.
Cunningham putting on quite a show tonight with the young quarterback, Steve Grogan. 14 times he's carried the ball, 82 yards. And now extends New England's lead with 6:08 remaining in the third quarter. A lot of happy fans up here. They're going to be happy for some time to come because this is a young football team.
Oh, yeah. Grogan, what is he, 24, 25 years old? He's going to be around a long, long time.
John Smith for the conversion. By clockwork. And New England has moved out in front of the Jets 34-7. We'll be right back.
This new father doesn't know it, but any moment now in his very town, a revolutionary new long-distance phone system will go into operation.
Phone? Oh, down the hall and to the right.
Thanks. It will handle calls faster and more trouble-free than ever before, over 4 times as many as the old system, and help keep rates down.
Okay, Marty, we're ready to cut over.
Let's do it.
Okay, well...
This new electronic switching system is an investment of $400 million in research, manufacturing, and installations.
We did it!
This new father only knows he wants this long-distance call to go through.
Mom, it's a girl.
We do, too. That's why we built it. Bell Labs, Weston Electric, Long Lines, and your local phone company. The Bell System. One team with one goal, keeping your phone system the best in the world.
The New England Patriots with Sam Cunningham going in for the touchdown and moved out to a 34-7 lead over the New York Jets. And a revised New York Jets defense is having its problems.
I'm sure glad I didn't see the old one.
John Smith will kick off. Jackson, Picone are deep for New York. And we'll take a look at it from the end zone. Line drive is fielded there by Jackson at his 7-yard line. And Jackson is fielded out at the 27-yard line by Jess Phillips. And let's go back and look at Cunningham. Beautiful blocking, cross-blocking, opens the hole, in he comes.
Well, Frank and Howard, when you play defense, you have to go that ball. You have to be very aggressive. Now, here's some not very aggressive play on the half of the Jets. That's Ed Taylor. He's not doing anything but bumping, and you got to come up and hit somebody. Here comes Neal on the defensive end, and he just falls over now. You can't do that as a defensive ball player. You got to go up and become a pitcher. You can't be a catcher.
Well, Frank mentioned the cross block, and a few weeks back, Frank described a perfect cross block, and we replayed it for you. And it's a basic offensive technique. It's lodged in execution, as Mr. Lombardi used to say.
Richard Todd is the Jets quarterback, and he overthrows on his first attempt to Richard Osborne, the rookie from Alabama. Richard Todd is now the quarterback for New York, number 14. Namath leaves the ball game, at least for this moment, with 16 completions out of 26 attempts, 135 yards.
Happy Sam Bam. Attaways. You remember how it was at the university. How all of you in the glory of Gifford when he was there.
Oh, yes.
And the single wing.
Some of the good old boys. Bart Gaines, one setback, number 21, the rookie from Wake Forest. The other setback for Richard Todd, the quarterback, is number 35, Steve Davis. Todd going to David Knight. He's well covered by Prentice McCray. 5:46 remaining in the third quarter, and the temperature is dropping. Going into the low 20s here in New England tonight. Winter moving in. Joe?
Every time it's hot out, we have hot coffee up here. Every time it's cold out, we have cold drinks. What is going on? I'm sure glad Chet and Don's back, though. What a nightmare last week.
That's Ike Forty. He's from Arkansas, running back.
Third down and 10. Todd can run. And tries to go to Castor, and he is covered by McCray again, and Todd has to drill it into the ground.
I will agree with your assessment that Todd can run. The jury is out on his ability to pass.
Oh, don't be vicious. Come on. Man's out there trying. First year, it's all kind of vague when you come into this league. Dwayne Carroll will punt. Darrell Stingley is back there along with Bedoin and Mike Hayes. Carroll, not having one of the better nights punting, gets this one out of bounds at New England's 35-yard line. And we'll be returning to Foxborough in just a moment. The score, 34-7.
In a land where only the rugged survive, people can't afford to trust their luck, which is why it pays to depend on Quasar. The new Quasar, with its Service Miser chassis, is built to last and give you the kind of picture you're looking for.
It's cold outside.
Quasar, built to make it in the cold, cruel world. Quasar. You can depend on Quasar.
No matter how careful you are, it's gonna happen. Gotcha! Unless you shave with a Norelco rotary razor. The rotary razor has 36 surgical steel rotary razor blades. 36, safely protected inside 3 floating heads. With 9 adjustable razor settings for a comfortable shave that's razor close, razor smooth. With no more gotcha. The revolutionary Norelco rotary razor. It's one razor that doesn't get you.
New England has the football, 1st and 10, their own 35-yard line. The setbacks now, number 38 is Ike Forte. He's out of Arkansas, a rookie. Don Calhoun is in there, number 44, as Cunningham and Andy Johnson are going to get a breather. Quarterback remains Grogan. He hands off to Forte over the right side. And the rookie from Arkansas ambles for good yardage. Give him 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
And so for the first time in the history of Monday Night Football, Alex, we have 2 gentlemen connected with the game who bear the same name. Ike Forte out there on the field, and Chester Forte in our...
No, it's 40.
No, it's Forte. We're changing.
Oh, we're
it's spelled
changing.
the same
All
way.
right. That's what I couldn't figure out.
In any event, F-O-R-T-E. Collect 6 yards. Make it 2nd down and 4. Been an all New England ball game. And now they come with the reverse, and Briscoe trying to throw the ball. But it was Lawrence Pillars, number 76, all over him. And now they're saying that he gave up the ball, and we are hearing that the whistle had already blown. Briscoe came into pro football as a quarterback some years back. Started with Denver, I believe, went on to Buffalo, and then Miami and Detroit. And he was going to try and throw the ball here. Down he goes.
He was a quarterback in college, too, Frank. Created quite a stir with Denver because of...
I thought I said that.
I know. No, you didn't say in college.
Oh.
But he created quite a stir because of the fact that he was black.
3rd and 13. Firing over the middle, Francis has the 1st down. And look at the big man from Hawaii, battle linebacker Larry Keller. But he has the 1st down, close to midfield. That's Francis, did a little professional wrestling in the offseason. His father is a professional wrestler. I wouldn't want to meet the 2 of them.
There isn't anything that young man can't do. What a career he's got ahead of him.
You know, he could put a Hawaiian hex on you, too. That's what I understand he did to
What is
Oakland.
an Hawaiian hex?
Well, I couldn't pronounce the word. But it sounded like it was very effective. On 1st and 10. Forte in motion. Grogan to Calhoun. And Calhoun out of bounds at the 47-yard line, short of the 1st down, collected there by Ed Taylor. 3:02 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
There is no apparent mercy in this team tonight.
Well, they have a lot of backup men in the ball game, and they continue to move. Let's take a look at this play from the end zone. Schaefer Stadium, beautiful stadium, considering the construction cost was about $6 million. Calhoun, left side, and it'll depend upon where they mark it. I believe he gets the 1st down as they are going to mark it right at the 40.
He got it.
Marveso made the stop. A rookie from Cincinnati now in the secondary for the Jets.
Frank, you want me to call play-by-play for a while?
No.
At the ground level, here you see Calhoun out sprinting the defenders to the sidelines and getting just enough for the 1st down. We've got 2:56 left in the 3rd quarter, Alex. 34-7, the Patriots routing the Jets.
29th 1st down for New England. Grogan. Forte. And Forte out of bounds as he moves it down to the 35-yard line.
We're only in the 3rd quarter, Giff, and they keep stopping the clock. Short sideline hitches and out of bounds, picking up decent yardage every time. Lenny Dawson made a career of throwing that kind of pass to Otis Taylor when the Chiefs were in their glory years, and Otis would frequently break the tackle and go all the way. And Dawson would have the best completion percentage in football.
2nd down. Handoff inside. Forte. He's short of the 1st down. He needs to get to the 30-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about a yard. 8 different receivers now for New England on the part of their quarterback, Steve Grogan. You know, you can't really compare Grogan, Howard, and Alex, to Bert Jones. Bert Jones is a much bigger quarterback. Grogan goes 6'4", but he's only about 200 pounds. That's when you see Bert Jones. I know most people have, but he's a 220-pounder.
Oh, he's a beautiful athlete. No, Grogan physically, as I said, reminds me of Greg Landry.
Third down now. Play action on 3rd and short, and Grogan will get the first down and much more. And Wisely goes down at the 23-yard line after getting the first down.
Well, that's their 30th first down, Howard.
Right. I always look worriedly, though, at the quarterback when he goes down, because right there he was hit on the shoulder, and it was the pitching shoulder by 55, John Ebersol.
Andy Vataha moves in, drops the play off with Grogan. And there he is. Good look at him. Let's look at it again. There's Russ Francis. He was the eligible receiver. Had Grogan been forced to put it in the air. First down at the 23-yard line of the Jets. Grogan is going to be sacked.
All right, okay. Now, Howard, that's what we were talking about.
Screaming about it all game, Alex. I'll give you that. That was John Ebersol who got in there.
You just can't lay back like that all night and be the catcher. You got to go in and do something, and this time they do. They blitz the linebackers. When I say blitz, I mean the linebackers actually move out of the line of scrimmage and go towards the quarterback. That's what it's called, a blitz. I don't know why it's called a blitz.
And you show some stunning and movement out there, either from the linebackers or up in the line, the way your linebackers used to when you had Lucci, Wayne Walker, and Paul Newmark.
When we'd have problems defensively, what we would do is eventually we'd say, let's do something even though it's wrong. Let's move.
Looks like they may take a field goal if they don't pull this first down out.
On second down, long yardage. Grogan wants to hope under the Vataha. And just off his fingertip, Ed Taylor trying to stay with him. But Grogan just was a little long.
Yeah, if perfectly thrown, they had another touchdown.
Patriots leading 34-7.
It's not over yet, though, Frank and Howard. You know as well as I do that any team on a given Sunday, or even on a Monday sometimes, can come back. It's a matter of inches.
Well, they better get a couple of
shotguns.
shotguns.
It'll probably be next Monday that things will happen again for us.
Okay, it's 3rd down and 20. Out to the right goes Stingley. They'll watch it from the end zone. Grogan under pressure again. And this time he's taken down. With number 27, Phil Wise, of safety, in there with Larry Keller. And that eliminates the possibility of the field goal. John Smith was warming up.
That was good sound judgment to do that. They blitzed everyone. Defensive backs and everyone came in that time, Howard.
Should have been doing it in the first quarter. Not that it really would have changed anything. But at least it should have been tried.
The second punt of the game for New England. Mike Patrick, Jazz Jackson, safety.
Come on, Jazz, bring it back.
Just going for the block. Ooh, and they just about got it. And it. Jazz Jackson makes an error. Oh, boy. Jazz Jackson down 34-7. Thought he'd take a shot at it.
I don't blame him.
Romanishin made the recovery for New England. Jim Romanishin.
I played in a lot of games like this, Frank. I know exactly how they're feeling right now. Nothing seems to happen right. One thing leads to another.
Well, there is 11 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. And the Patriots have the ball inside the 12-yard line of the New York Jets. And there's the recovery again. Romanishin getting down for the coverage. Jackson figuring, well, why not? Thought he could pull it off. Bobbled the ball. And Calhoun storms into the end zone, and nothing is stopping the Patriots tonight. 7 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and Calhoun goes into the end zone from the 12-yard line.
Give the ball to Calhoun. He did it.
Don Calhoun, third-year man out of Kansas State. He'd only carried the ball 17 times coming into tonight. He was a teammate, as I said earlier, of Steve Grogan when they were at Kansas State.
I like the way he
Look
runs.
at the balance. Look at the balance. Oh, to be able to do that again, huh, Frank?
What, spike it?
No, play tennis halfway decent.
John Smith puts it through. And the Patriots are pouring it on the New York Jets. There's 7 seconds remaining in the third quarter. They lead the Jets 41-7. You know, spiking had rather an adverse effect on one of the rookies for New England Patriots. You know, they've never run back a punt in regular season play or preseason. And in preseason this year, I think we saw it in the highlights. Mike Hayes had a punt return of 70 yards, and just before he crossed the goal line, and I mean just before, about 10 yards before, he spiked the ball.
Remember when we had Dave Smith of Pittsburgh do that in the regular season game?
Yeah, it can be a little embarrassing. John Smith will kick off. Jazz Jackson, Lou Picone are dropping deep to the Jets. There they are. Jackson, 43. He was the one that took the gamble on the punt a moment ago. 89 is Picone. And a very dejected New York Jet.
Well, I'll tell you something, Frank. Peter the Greek Karras told me it was going to be a landslide in New England, and I wouldn't believe him.
Smith hits it. Jackson finds the handle this time. Oh, and he is really nailed and upended by Jess Phillips, who is doing great work on the special team for New England.
We talked about him, Howard, and how he's been traveling so, you know, back and forth to different ball clubs. I'll never know. He gives you all he has all the time.
End of the third quarter. You're watching another exclusive of ABC Sports as we look at that replay again, and with the score, New England 34-41, the New York Jets 7. We'll return after this word from our local station.
Go get him, Jesse.
Next on Rich Man, Poor Man, Ramona is in a love triangle.
Well, he didn't do anything out of line or anything, did he?
If I really care for a lady, whatever way she's made seems perfect.
And Rudy's lawyer becomes his lover.
I really do want you.
Rich Man, Poor Man, Book 2.
Tomorrow at 9, 8 Central and Mountain on ABC.
New England penalized on that kickoff. The Jets take over 1st and 10, their own 44-yard line. Setbacks, Park Games 21, Davis 35. The quarterback is Todd. Oh, and a violent collision. The pass intended for Richard Castor. Give you an idea of how chilly it is, as the temperature at game time started at 42. You're looking at Leon Gray, the fine blocking tackle for New England. It started at 42 degrees and it was expected to go into the 20s by the end of the game.
Doesn't feel that way to the Patriots, Frank. It's a sad evening for the Jets, whose owners are very decent people, who've tasted what it is to win it all, and who now have this long rebuilding process ahead of them. They're going to have to prove they've got the organization to be able to rebuild.
First round draft pick, Richard Todd, the quarterback, fires over the middle. Flag goes down. He completes the pass to Castor, who is down to the 47-yard line, short of the first down. But again, a flag is down back at the line of scrimmage. Holding against New York. Again this Saturday, Missouri goes against Nebraska. And of course, Missouri ranked ranked number 6 in the nation in total offense with 416 yards a game. That's really moving it. Nebraska, they're ranked 3rd in the polls. Missouri 7th in the polls. So that's NCAA college football on Saturday. Missouri against Nebraska.
Frank, they're committed to go in the future with draft choices, not trade any of the few quality players they have. That means they've got to make the right draft choices, and they've got to prove they can do it.
2nd down and 20. This is Gaines on the screen. And he splits a couple of Patriots, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, where it will be 3rd down. And speaking of draft choices, Howard, there is a little interesting happening today in that regard. And of course, been some question, I understand.
Well, much of what happens in sports today that's most important, unfortunately, takes place outside of the arena, Frank, rather than within it. And the National Football League said today that the appeals court has confirmed the league's position that the Rozelle rule is a subject to be resolved in collective bargaining. This judicial clarification, the league says, should pave the way for resolution of these matters at the bargaining table.
And Todd will go down on 3rd down.
As has been done in baseball, basketball, and in hockey. Now that comes from the National Football League office. Based upon prior adverse decisions against the league, the Rozelle rule had been declared illegal. For those of you who don't understand the Rozelle rule, we're not going to give you a legal treatise or education right now. It's what they call the option compensation rule. Man plays out his option, spends a year with a club, then goes to another club. Rozelle had the power to decree compensation for the lost player. Now that becomes a matter for collective bargaining.
All right, on 4th down, Dwayne Carroll comes out and fake punt. And rolling down the sidelines with the New York Jets, number 51, is Greg Fuddle, who has been performing well as a linebacker for them. You'll see the quick snap over to the right. I don't know what New England was expecting with the 41-7 lead, but they got it. 25-yard pickup, and Fuddle gets the 1st down.
I think he's become the leading rusher now for the Jets, Frank, with a total of 23 yards.
Yes, he is.
I'm right up on it, Frank. Right up on it.
On 1st down, Todd back looking, dumps off to Gaines, and he's hit immediately. Coming up there very quickly, number 40, the man we've been talking about all evening, Mike Haynes, the rookie from Arizona State. And this is one of the young men who came to New England in the trade for Jim Plunkett, along with 3 number 1 draft picks and 2 number 2s. Tom Owen, we saw him last year, Howard, perform for San Francisco.
He's a good young ball player. Comes from Wichita State. We thought he had a real future with San Francisco, but then in that Plunkett deal, which Frank has earlier described to you.
2nd down. And so is Todd.
To finish my sentence, they came up with a veritable bonanza here in New England. This team has been thoughtfully put together. Incidentally, we put 48 points on the board tonight, 41 for the Patriots. This is not the most points we've ever had, fellas, on Monday Night Football. Indeed, we opened in September of '70, the Jets against the Browns, and the Brownies won that one 31-21. And I believe we may have had our greatest total in the second game of that first year, I believe, when Kansas City ripped Baltimore in Baltimore. I think that was 43-24.
3rd down and 15. And Todd flips it out to Gaines. He gets away from 1 tackle there, and a flag goes down. Good move by Gaines. And a flag is down again. Face mask. And it goes against New England.
Then, Frank, if memory serves me well, we had that game in Denver against Kansas City on the night a competitive network played The Godfather.
Defense, face mask, number 54, 1st down.
Where there was an awful lot of scoring then.
There has never been a memory that served anyone like yours serves you. And I could vouch for it. That's a first down on that call. Inside handoff, and there goes Davis. And Davis gets another first down to the 21-yard line. Steve Davis out of Delaware State. You've already heard Howard describe some of his earlier problems. He came up as a third-round draft pick in 1971 with the Steelers. Missed all that rookie season, had a viral infection, couldn't play, quit a couple of times. And the Jets have acquired him, and they would really like to go with him. He has a lot of ability.
71 was the year Noel had that remarkable draft that laid the foundation for the later twice Super Bowl championship team.
On first down, Todd, and we almost had 6. Hustling up there, coming close to the 6-point interception was Tim Fox. And he'll have a nightmare about that tonight. And look the way he walks. He has a hip pointer. He has a broken wrist. He has just been really bombed around.
He's a hospital case.
Oh, he's so intent. He keeps saying, I'm hurt, but where? He doesn't care.
You know, it's all on the left side, too. He broke his left wrist. He has his left knee hurt. He had a left hip pointer.
Well, he should give up his right side a little bit, Frank.
You saw one of your basic freaks run through the camera. You did. You know, the tragic part of all of this, it's a great game the New England Patriots have played. Should have get really out of line, they could forfeit this game. You have to maintain control of your own ballpark.
Well, it's almost Halloween, Frank and Howard.
I saw enough that last game, the American League Championship Series. I've seen enough at Shea Stadium, at Metropolitan Stadium in Bloomington, in San Francisco. You see it everywhere. And it's a deeply troubling thing. It really is to see people behave this way.
Second down and 10. Todd with Gaines open, and Gaines turns right into Mike Haynes. It'll depend upon where they mark it. I think he has the first down. No, now they mark it inside just about the 12-yard line. Then he had to get to the 11. Take a look at it again. There he is, and here comes Haynes.
He looks like a tough kid, Alex. That
Haynes, you'll find out also that he'll probably be one of the best athletes on the football field, because any guy that can run backwards as fast as he can run frontwards, you know he's a darn good athlete. Probably can play any kind of sport.
Third down and 3. Todd underthrows a man wide open. It was intended there for Clark Gaines. Todd rolling out.
And Frank, in your opinion, and I mean this in all sincerity, and Howard also, I'd like to know, what do you think really what the Jets need?
Well,
I mean, not tonight, because they need a doctor.
They have to begin at the beginning. They've got to build a sturdy defensive line and an offensive line that's young and strong, can learn how to pull and block. You can't keep going, unfortunately, with such pass-grade players as Winston Hill. Then they have to get the running backs. They need virtually everything. There are spots of strength. Richard Castor, Jerome Barkham, the pass receiving department. And they have to hope that Richard Todd will prove to be the young quarterback to build upon.
First down and goal, offsides against Ray Hamilton of New England. Todd looking for Castor. He was held up, and Todd is sacked at the 10-yard line.
I do think they've got a beginning in the linebacker department with Greg Buttle. I don't know if the 6th-round draft choice from Nebraska, Martin, is big enough, strong enough. He only goes 210. But you can't wipe him out for that reason, because look at the career Chris Hanberger, for instance, has had.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a beginning in the linebacker department. Let's look at this again.
Pete Barnes does a good job here coming in.
And you'll see Ray Hamilton pop in here. They're still hustling. I like that.
Well, they move around a lot.
Second down and goal. Ball at the 10-yard line. Todd puts up the alley-oop. And it's taken, but off the playing field.
There's one other kid they've got, Alex, that I like based upon what he's shown tonight. The Jets, I mean. Number 76, Lawrence Pillars. An 11th-round draft choice from Alcorn. And it seems clear, based upon his performance this year and even tonight in this debacle, that he has the capacity to grow and to become an important player.
Lou Holtz.
He needs an Alka-Seltzer is what he needs tonight.
He did a fine job, North Carolina State. He's really done a fine job with what he has to work with. You've just been describing. You got to have the people or you're not going to be a coach. Third down. Pass attempt. Castor over the middle, incomplete, and Tim Fox, who grew up in Canton, Ohio, the home of our spotter, Steve Bazika, the home of the Hall of Fame, in there for the breakup.
And organizationally, Frank, as a follow-up to what you said about Coach Holtz, we're looking at Richard Castor again. You've got to have the organization, the scouting system, so that your drafting is judicious. Otherwise, you saw that. Otherwise, the draft doesn't really fulfill your needs.
There is Chuck Fairbanks looking on as the Jets again go on fourth down. Fourth and goal from their own 10-yard line. Well, you can get up. You can't now. All the way back to the 20-yard line. Todd goes down on his own. And New England takes over.
Again, in fairness, Alex and Frank, to the Jets, they played tonight with two defensive stalwarts injured. 77, Carl Barzalauskas, and 81, Billy Newsome, who was good enough to play on the Super Bowl team of Baltimore a number of years ago. Barzalauskas has really disappointed the Jets, however, this year and last year. We'll be back in a moment.
Some of the clearest, bluest water in all the world is only one day away on a Boeing jetliner. The Baja, the Caribbean, the South Pacific. Of course, some people have everything right in their own backyard. But if you don't, and warm water is your thing, get hold of your airline and get on a Boeing jetliner. There's a lonely cove somewhere waiting for you.
You've got your standards. Everything you do has to meet them. You won't compromise. Lincoln Continental hasn't compromised. Full-sized, full luxury, it sets a high standard for luxury cars. Some luxury cars are smaller than last year. The 1977 Lincoln retains its traditional luxury car size. Why do you like the Lincoln Continental?
I've got my standards.
1977 Lincoln Continental, a standard by which luxury cars are judged.
Back at Schaefer Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. 9:52 remaining in this football game, and it is 41-7. New England over the Jets. And we have Tom Owen now at quarterback for New England. He hands off to Jess Phillips. New England calmly and patiently dominating this game. They're looking forward now to next Sunday. They play Buffalo. Tony McGee had himself a fine night. And he agrees. Yes, you did, Tony.
And those of the Bills.
If you didn't, I wouldn't say anything about it.
Those are the Bills watching this game, remembering how they lost to the Jets last week, must be wondering about themselves.
Second down and 7. And down goes Cunningham, who's had a whale of a night also for New England. They had him out of there for a while. We just want to alert all the people along the line, except on the West Coast, that the local news will be coming up following this game.
And you know, I'm sorry, Frank.
I was going to say that'll be about breakfast time.
I was thinking about coaching itself, you know, and I think the most successful coaches are those coaches that were coaches and general managers. Vince Lombardi certainly, and guys like that who had the total command of what they were doing and wasn't judged by 3 or 4 different people and went on and made some trades and made some deals quickly.
Tom Owen drilled one in there that Earl Stingley couldn't hold on.
I don't agree with what you just said, Alex. As I look at some of the great organizations in the league, there's no better organization in a football sense than the Dallas Cowboys. Landry is the coach, and in effect, Tex Schramm is the general manager, though the president of the club, and the head of player personnel is Gil Brandt, who's brilliant at his job. Take the Rams. Knox the coach, Klosterman the general manager. So I don't think that necessarily obtains. And look at the history that Jim Finks is writing now with Chicago.
You didn't know you were that wrong, did you?
No, I still believe in my convictions, and I think the Washington Redskins is an example of that.
Mike Patrick hits it for New England, their third punt of the game. Jazz Jackson. Oh, and he has got a lot of Patriots with him. And down he goes, 24-yard line. Well, the Jets will take over with 8:26 remaining in the game, and they're trailing New England 41-7. We'll be returning in just a moment.
Metropolitan Life reminds you that the future will be here in a moment, and we can help you prepare for it.
Sun is shining, things are growing, things are going well with you and me. A future plan together, a rich full life together, and things look bright as they can be. We're helping 40 million people, more than 40 million people, who know the future is now. At Metropolitan Life.
Don't let the future take you by surprise. At Metropolitan Life, we've spent over a century helping people prepare for the future. And Metropolitan can do the same for you. Metropolitan, where the future is now.
8 minutes, 26 seconds remaining in this football game from Foxborough. Next week, we're going to be in the nation's capital, the Redskins, against the Cardinals. And things tightened up a little bit in that Eastern Division of the NFC when Dallas went down to St. Louis yesterday. Right now, we're watching the New England Patriots dominate the New York Jets here in the fourth quarter. And Steve Davis is nailed and nailed hard. He'll lose a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 11.
May I also remind you, since earlier time did not permit Mr. Karras, about the Oakland Raiders and Al Davis and John Madden.
Well, that's a different situation. They work hand in hand. I don't even consider that as a general manager coach kind of situation because they work together. But you take the two winningest coaches in the National Football League. George Allen certainly is over the 200. Is it 200 mark now?
100.
And Vince Lombardi. So there's two right there that were GM and head coaches.
And Don Shula.
Oh, that's right. Correct. Thanks, Frank.
And Todd goes out to the 35-yard line. First down, and he gets his completion for the first to David Knight. And now Knight's shaken up. We mentioned the players that are missing for the Jets. Jerome Barkham was expected to see action tonight, and he is named as other favorite receiver, if there is such a term, besides Rich Castor. He has a very severely pulled hamstring, and he's been out since way early in the preseason. Here's Knight, shaken up as he makes the reception for the first down.
Knight, by the way, played for Coach Holtz when Holtz was head coach at William & Mary.
Davis dumped way back. Hustling in there real quickly was Richard Bishop.
So you have George Allen, Vince Lombardi, and Paul Brown.
And Don Shula.
And Don Shula.
Finally, you got some support from the Giffer.
I knew I was right there.
Who in his syrup.
No, I'm just saying at certain times when you can call your own shots and you don't have to, discuss or argue, it really does help a ball club in a time of real need. And in Detroit years ago when we were, I would think, a darn good football team, we needed a couple players one way or the other. We had to go to a committee of 16 men who either nodded yes or said no, and that was the end of our season at times.
Come on, you and Giff have adopted a surreptitiously conspiratorial posture.
You said it, I didn't.
We're also rather hostile. First down following the offside. And out to Bob Gresham goes Todd, and the Jets pick up a first down in midfield.
Rather hostile, eh? That'll produce 40 columns saying we don't get along, Giff.
Oh, take Newt Rockne, for instance.
No, you take Newt Rockne.
Let's keep it in the realm of
reality,
which is impossible, I guess, at this point. All right, the first down for the Jets with Richard Todd at quarterback inside the 49-yard line of New England. Todd right on the money with that pass. Richard Castor, and he was working against Mike Haynes, who continues to show us plenty tonight.
Come to think of it, I'll take Mr. Rockne. In 1930, Carideo, or Carideo, as you will, Schwartz, Brill, and Savoldi, Burt Metzger, the Watch Charm guard, unbeaten. I'll take that, Dean.
New England's only negative statistic tonight. They've been penalized 10 times for 75 yards. Does not reflect on the scoreboard in any negative way. Second down and 10. End zone shot. Richard Todd. A lot of time. He hangs up a bomb, and a flag is going to go down as Richard Castor was battling back there with Dick Kahn, number 22.
Do you think he called that against Castor, Giff?
Flag is down, and they did collide while the ball was in the air. And it does go against Castor. Offensive interference. There you'll see right at the bottom of your screen, down around the 15-yard line, Dick Kahn getting involved with Rich Castor. Right now, let's pause 5 seconds and allow the local stations along the line to identify themselves.
Offensive pass interference refused.
Offensive pass interference against Rich Castor refused. And the Jets have a third down. Again, we remind you, except on the West Coast, the local news will be coming your way as soon as we leave the air. We have 6:47 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Richard Todd, the rookie from Alabama, over the middle, and he finds Gresham, and Gresham has the first down close to the 30-yard line. Steve Zabel moving back there to make the stop. Been a big night for the Patriots. Had outstanding performances from not only their offensive unit, Steve Grogan. They, of course, always attract all the glimmer. We watch once again from the end zone. This is Davis over the right side. It'll be 2nd down and 5, but they've had a good defensive performance from Tony McGee and Ray Hamilton. Sugar Ray, a name they gave Sugar when he was a youngster. Not young anymore. He's grown up. That middle linebacker came up with the 14th round draft pick. That's number 71, right in the middle of that line.
Don't go back.
Todd fires, and Howard Satterwhite holds on down there. And
Todd is throwing better. That was a well-thrown football.
Hey, we came into the game. He had to be just a little chilled because the temperature has really dropped. Satterfield was acquired by the Jets from Washington and following the Washington Redskins final cut.
He scored a touchdown against the Jets in preseason when with Washington. Holtz was impressed. Remember, Holtz turned his whole team, essentially his whole team over.
There was a real purge just prior to the first game.
Right.
And moving inside the 10 goes Bob Gresham. It was 2nd down. 2nd down and 7. They can make a first down around the 2-yard line. There's Lou Holtz looking on. He's been around a while. He's a good coach. He knows the shortcomings of this team, and there are numerous. But they have some young players that are beginning to develop. Gresham pops in there for, maybe a yard.
Well, I'd have to say the best young football team in the league right now, Howard, has to be the Baltimore Colts. They turned that face around 3 or 4 different times.
When you say young,
years.
yes, but I think the Patriots are very close to being able to challenge them. I still think Pittsburgh will come back. You saw them do just that against Cincinnati. I think Dallas is super.
Well, they're consistent. That's one thing about Dallas.
They're awesome. 3rd down, over the middle and in and out of the hands of the Jet receiver.
Los Angeles remains solid despite the loss last week to San Francisco. And, of course, Minnesota is an always solid football team. Shula's in trouble this year, but he will rebuild more quickly than most. They've got the organization. They've got the system.
Is he the general manager, too?
Yes. Yeah.
That's the reason, Howard.
Gifford jumped in and helped you with that one.
It's 4th down. And the Jets will go again on 4th down. Todd now 8 of 19. Been sacked a couple of times. And he fires it into a crowd down there.
And connects.
Collected.
But to amplify that which we were talking about, Alex, there is a gradually developing change in the balance of power in the league. Because San Diego is vastly improved. We have 3:50 left in the game. The Bears are clearly on the verge of becoming a very strong team with the extraordinary Walter Payton. And Cincinnati is a very solid football team, too. It's an interesting league. We'll be back in a moment.
Buick and Olds have now made their biggest cars smaller. We still build them like we used to at Lincoln Mercury. This plaque goes into every full-size 77 marquee. Ride engineered by Lincoln Mercury. It tells you every inch of every marquee is dedicated to its famous luxury ride to give you the peaceful feeling of a solid, well-built car. Mercury Marquee. Ride engineered by Lincoln Mercury.
Put your foot down and come on into Goodyear. Put your foot down and come on into Goodyear. 'Cause Goodyear puts its foot down on prices right now.
Goodyear has put its foot down. Save 30% on Goodyear's custom power cushion polyglass white walls. America's best-selling tire at 30% off regular price. Sale ends Tuesday.
Yes, Goodyear puts its foot down on prices. And how?
He's very happy.
Barbara Walters and Harry Reasoner have been on the scene of history-making events. Talk to world leaders. Watch them on ABC. Harry Reasoner and Barbara Walters on the ABC Evening News.
Weeknights here on ABC.
And the Patriots will move from their own 3-yard line. This is Calhoun back in the ball game. Gets out to the 5-yard line. Nailed there. It's been an all-New England game throughout the entire period. They took their first possession, marched 58 yards for a touchdown. It was never in doubt from that moment on. A strong team, a team that has defeated Miami, Pittsburgh, and Oakland. They dropped one to Detroit. They dropped their season's opener to Baltimore. As Lou Holtz looks on, he won his first game as a professional coach last week against Buffalo. Not a whole lot of smiles. 2nd down and 8. The ball at the 5-yard line. New England now with Tom Owen at quarterback, following a great performance from Brogan. Hands off to Phillips, and Phillips is putting on quite a show as he moves out to the 15 for a first down.
He started, of course, at Michigan State, Phillips did. Got into deep personal problems, and it was Paul Brown who elected to give him an opportunity in professional football. He can run. He hits. You've seen him on the specialty teams. You're looking at him here when he just wouldn't be brought down. Tremendous individual effort. And I don't understand either, Alex, why he's been so traveled.
Play for my ball club anytime he wants to.
Clock ticking away on first down. Handoff goes to Jess Phillips again.
Go ahead, Jesse. Go on.
He's in a foot race.
Oh, come on.
Cuts back, and of all people, he's taken down by the big tackle, number 76, Lawrence Pillars. But Jess Phillips showing some burst of speed as the clock ticks down towards the 2-minute warning. Let's look at it again. 47-yard run. Good blocking out in front. That's Russ Francis, number 81. And then just fine running.
All right, there's no one tackling out there at all. And I'll tell you something. If I was a coach, when I looked at these movies, I'd get on someone right now because there isn't a soul out there that wants to bring him down.
There's the 2-minute warning. And we'll be returning to Foxborough right after this message.
You know the Johnson folks have come up with a new free insurance plan to protect you against CB ripoff? That's right. Just buy a Johnson Messenger 23-channel CB radio between October 10th and December 18th, and y'all can sign up for the free insurance plan that protects your radio against theft for 12 months, no premium. Then if your new radio should get stolen, all you got to do is send in your replacement request, police report, $29 deductible charge, and a new radio will be shipped to you. See your Johnson CB dealer today about the CB theft protection plan. You hear?
Cam 2, 20W50, the only motor oil used by the Penske race team. The first multi-grade certified by the U.S. Auto Club is used for championship racing. And Cam 2 helps protect your car's engine from the punishment of everyday stop-and-go driving. So, if you change your own oil, you can buy Cam 2 here at your friendly Sunoco dealer. Or buy it here at leading stores where motor oil is sold. Now that it's here, you ought to change your oil.
Jess Phillips just went 47 yards. New England in jet territory again at the 39-yard line, and Don Calhoun gets the call. He gets a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Inside the final 2 minutes. Obviously, the Jets a long way away in their rebuilding program. The New England Patriots could well be there. And they needed this game to stay close to the Baltimore Colts, who are 5-1 in the Eastern Division of the AFC, while New England is now going to be 4-2.
Look at Giggle.
I don't believe that, fella.
Oh, he's just happy.
He started laughing in the first quarter, and whoever told him the story must have really played a good one on him.
If I were his coach, I'd lay a good one on him, I'll tell you.
Ooh, and we almost had a collision, and the backs got a little bit confused back there. Calhoun is corralled at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4, 3rd down 14.
You know, that scene really goes back to the disaster we had in Houston a number of years back when Oakland, albeit playing badly, crushed the Oilers 34-0, and we had Dandy Don's memorable line. Do you remember?
I can remember a few of them. What was that one? What'd the old cowboy say?
We're number 1. That's what he means.
Oh, yes. 3rd down, 15. Oh, and as a man open, it was Darrell Stingley. Threw it just a little high. So we have 32 seconds on the clock. And a 4th down for New England. There's Tom Owen, a 3rd-year man out of Wichita State.
Despite a 41-7 lead, he wants to show that he can do what Grogan did.
Say he won 4 out of 5 for the 49ers last year when they got into quarterback troubles.
He was amazingly controlled and disciplined for a guy who had had such a paucity of action until thrust into the...
And as long as we're digging, he went to Turner High School in Kansas City and played against Grogan.
Yeah.
Now, you top that one. You give me Grogan's high school, I'll just faint. And I'm sure you're pretty close to it. On 4th down. New England working on the clock. And I'm sure the Jets will be content to let it run out, and it's Jess Phillips who is really putting in quite a football game here tonight. Don't forget, Saturday coming up, we have Missouri and Nebraska, NCAA college football, and then Monday night we'll be in the nation's capital, Washington and St. Louis.
What a job Don Coryell has done. Despite an injury that sidelined Terry Metcalf, he's got the replacement backs. He proved it against Dallas. He's some kind of coach.
And he shored up that defensive line, which is really helped that ball club.
You guys left my man out, Jim Hart. What a day he had. 23 seconds remaining. The Jets take over. Namath has long since retired to the sidelines. You're looking at the rookie from Alabama, Richard Todd. Steve Davis runs to the right, and the Jets obviously are going to work on the clock themselves, ticking off the final seconds. Thank our statistician, Jerry Klein, spotter, Steve Bazika. And the Jets will lose this one 41-7. And New England remains strong, remains in contention in their division of the AFC. We'll be back in just a moment.
A lot of people will tell you that Eastern Airlines isn't perfect. And you know what? They're right. I'm Frank Borman, the president of Eastern, and I'm one of the first to admit it. When you fly up to 116,000 people a day, it isn't easy to keep everyone happy. But you can try, even if it means working all night. Our planes are checked out mechanically tonight, so they'll be ready to roll on time tomorrow. The chefs get up early to have a good breakfast ready for you in the morning. Our weathermen are watching things tonight to help our pilots fly through clear skies tomorrow. Our planes are being cleaned tonight, so they'll be nicer to fly in tomorrow. Why are we willing to work all night? Because we want you to have a good flight tomorrow. Look, there are a lot of airlines out there you could fly besides Eastern. So if we want you to fly Eastern all the time, we have to earn our wings every day and every night.
Once again, the final score here at Foxborough. New England defeats the New York Jets 41-7. This is Frank Gifford, along with Howard Cosell and Alex Karras, saying so long from Foxborough, Massachusetts. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. Fly the friendly skies of United, where you're the boss. The proceeding was a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
Find the owners before they find him dead.
He's got the diamonds! Kill him!
Then, a woman's prison is turned into a house of pleasure.
I'm gonna be watching you, sweet cakes.
Charlie's Angels, right after Beretta.
Wednesday, starting at 9, 8 Central and Mountain on ABC.